welcome to the Rangers Wire podcast. Today's date is Friday the 31st of July, the opening day of the season. I'm Gary, I'm joined by Dex. How you doing, mate?
How's it going, Gary? How are we?
Not great after that. Same old story. What's your overall assessment just of the game, quickly before we break it down?
Simplified, just not good enough. And it was a horrible start I kept hearing throughout the game. That's the fourth season in a row we failed to win the first game. That's abysmal hearing for a Rangers fan.
I feel Dundee United for the first half were the much better team. And we'll break down now, but overall disappointed feeling, usual story. So into the first half then. So team lineup first, Dex. Anything surprise you with team lineup?
Yeah, a couple of things. I was surprised to see Diamande in there in the middle, first of all. I wasn't expecting that, but truth be told, I was actually happy with it, because you know yourself, I'm a big fan of Diamande, but in hindsight, that was probably foolish, because I don't think he had a great game. He had his usual nice little turns, maybe a bit of drive forward, but as a starting midfielder, just wasn't enough. He didn't contribute enough.
Yeah, I was quite surprised to see him in the starting lineup, especially in the middle of the park. I was also surprised to see Gassama. However, when I seen the lineup, I thought he was wanting maybe a wee bit of fight, energy, legs, and that's why Diamande, when he's at his best, he gives you that. And obviously Gassama's got pace in abundance, but I felt as the half was going on, Dundee United were kind of dominating. I just felt that it was maybe a wrong decision, but I just want to speak about a few key points that happened in that first half. First of all, in the 16th minute, Dundee United broke through the middle, and the boys through and goal when Fernandes makes a goal-stopping challenge. The big man, when he's on it, isn't he?
Yeah, it was a brilliant challenge. I seen that. I couldn't believe he got it. I thought he had a great first half. I thought he lost his confidence a bit in the second half. If you noticed, there was a couple of mistakes. I'm sure the ball actually bounced over him at one point. It led to a dangerous United attack.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to the second half in a second, but 2 minutes after that, in the 18th minute, there was a free kick. I believe it was a Connor Barron, Cammy Devlin foul. Crossed in from our left-hand side, and Big Nadiri, about the only thing he'd done during the game, was a brilliant defensive header he put out for a corner. Did you see that?
I did see that, yeah. He done well to clear it, because if he doesn't get that United attacker could go anywhere with that. And that's another surprise, talking about the starting lineup. I was surprised Nadiri was in there ahead of Chermiti. In fact, that was actually the biggest surprise to me.
Again, I thought it was just purely legs he wanted, but I think the decision proved the wrong one. And I think the warning signs were there from the chances we just spoke about. And then obviously Dundee United, I think down the left they were great, but funny enough, the goal comes from the right-hand side, from the cross on the right. And I suppose it's a bit of luck. The boy leaves it, and then I think he goes to take a touch and it just hits off his foot. Maybe instinct, striker's instinct. And Dundee 1-0, but you can't say the warning signs weren't there already.
Yeah, I think striker's instinct might be doing him a bit of a justice there, but either way, like you said, the warning signs were coming. I was expecting it. I said moments before, they've got something coming here, and if you're going to take the pressure of Dundee United, you're going to concede eventually. It was a nice little dummy, but I think it was just a heavy touch. Either way, bet the keeper, went in the net. Fair play.
Yeah, I think Dundee were good in an attacking sense throughout the night. But then the only thing that I want to pick up that I thought was good in the first half was Shanklin's hold-up play. And that obviously continued into the second half. But I feel like at times the first half, when the ball was coming up to him and he was holding up, there was no runners off him.
No, none. I felt like he was isolated out there at times.
Absolutely. And then we go into half-time with a goal down McInnes' first match, and you expect a reaction. Do you feel we got the reaction in the second half?
I do think we started the second half better, but just at half-time, he brought on Dan Neil. He's brought on Dan Neil and Joseph Chermiti for Nadiri and Gassama. I wasn't too sure about it. I was happy to see Chermiti on for Nadiri, as like we said, apart from that defensive clearance, he'd done nothing. But my initial instinct was taking off Gassama for Neil. Despite Gassama not doing much, I thought we're sacrificing the only width we've got to bring on a midfielder. I don't think Dan Neil did much particularly, but I do think we did play hungrier, and we did try and attack them, which eventually led to a goal.
So I think they did, in my opinion, I think they did come out the second half, and I think they were a lot better. And actually, we created a few chances. The Chermiti chance in the 49th minute, where the ball's kind of bobbling in the 6-yard box. He tries to get a strike and it's blocked. And then after that, you've got the Daniel cross to Fernandes, the head on the 50th minute. He's essentially got a free head on the 6-yard box, and he hits it straight to the keeper. And then Aasgaard has a shot in the 51st minute. It's a cracking save for the goalkeeper. And then obviously no long after that, 56, so it's took us 11 minutes since half time, since the break, and we get the goal. And I felt it was good play for the goal. It was good play from Shankland holding the defender off as he was doing all night. And I thought it was a fantastic finish from Thelo Aasgaard.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was. I thought it was superb hard work by Shankland. He battled with that defender to keep that ball in Rangers' hands. It felt Aasgaard, superb first touch, slotted it away. No complaints. I thought Aasgaard actually had a decent game, to be fair. It's hard to highlight too many performances in particular because, let's be honest, it's disappointing. As a Rangers fan, first game of the season, you're expecting nothing but a win. But I do think Aasgaard had an okay game, if you can say that. If okay is good enough, if that's what we're happy with these days, but that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I think it was a lot better the second half than it was the first, and I think his heat map showed that. He was all over the park.
Yeah.
What was the most disappointing thing for you tonight?
Truthfully, for me, it was just a lack of style. There was a point in the first half where I mentioned it to who I was watching the game with. There was a solid point for a good 10-15 minutes. We couldn't string together like 4 or 5 passes. We just couldn't do it. We couldn't maintain possession. And then the ball was just bobbling back to Dundee United and they were just going in the attack. It was painful to watch. Like, I'm probably, I don't want to say I'm happy with a draw. I'm never happy with anything but 3 points at Rangers, but I'd need to say a draw is fair.
No, I agree. I thought Dundee United deserved their draw and they were pushing right to the end as well. A disappointment for me was obviously the result, the performance, but also the injury to Ben Godfrey.
Yeah, that's right. That's really concerning because that's a position we've spoke about. We're already short of. So this South African boy might need to be through in the deep end.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no. You can't rest on your laurels there. They've got a game coming up. They're thick and fast right now with the European qualifiers.
Yeah, that's it. We're in the deep end now. We've got 2 games a week for the foreseeable.
I was also disappointed. There was a chance at the end of the game. Chermiti has the ball. The guy kind of tries to foul and falls both from fall, but Chermiti's up quicker. He drives into the box on the left-hand side. And then he looks like he's going to turn and pass it. I believe it's Daniel standing kind of making that late run at the D. And he decides to shoot near post. And it's a pretty weak effort. And the chance is gone.
I was furious at that chance, Gary. Yeah, he had Dan Neil just coming to the D, but he also had Finlay Curtis on the far side of the box on the right hand side. I thought either one of the options, if you can maybe fake the shot, lay it off to Neil, or even try and be a bit smarter, through ball to Curtis, he's 1-on-1. I thought that was just the worst decision he could have made then. So late in the game as well, you expect that to be the winner.
Yes, usually disappointing, and it's a feeling that we're used to, unfortunately, these days. I think we went into the transfer window guns blazing. We signed a lot of players early. However, it seems to be the same old story. It's hard to speak now because of emotions, but very disappointed. Nothing jumps out in the signs. I will give Pandur a mention actually. I thought at times he was quick off his line. There's a few times he actually had to come out his box and header the ball. I thought he was quick off his line. Could he have done better for the goal? I don't know. I think he's expecting the first man to get a strike on, but he lets it run through his legs, I believe. But
yeah, I thought the same. I thought with the goal, I initially didn't think that. I thought, is he slow to react there? Could he get it? But that touch, I don't even think the attacker expected that touch to go the way it did. So how's the keeper going to expect it? And yeah, he came out, I've seen a couple of headers. And see, for the people that said his distribution was poor, by the way, I need to say it's very early days, but it seems a lot better than Butland's is.
Yeah, I thought his distribution was okay as well. And just one more point I want to talk about overall was the right back position. I feel obviously we started with Sterling, and Sterling's normally solid, but I feel he's getting caught out of left. I know Zach Saffers, as we mentioned in the pre-match, is a threat on the left, and I felt that he was getting caught out too many times, and they were dominating the game down that side. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, he definitely was. He was getting caught out a bit too much for my liking. I thought when McCrory was there, he was a bit more solid defensively, which is surprising to me because I've always thought of Sterling's best attributes being his defensive side. But I thought McCrory actually showed that side up a bit, and then vice versa with the attacking. I thought McCrory just, as soon as he had a bit of space in front of him, he turned round back and passed it back. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say as well. I felt, and I don't want to pick on the right backs here, but because the emotions are running high, I felt McCrory loves to stop and turn back in, slow the play down.
Yeah.
It was frustrating. And not just him. I feel the defence as a whole, they're too slow, too calm, too relaxed with the ball. I know Fernandes likes his wee turns and that, but I feel at times that the tempo had to be raised massively from the back. But also there was no midfielders coming to collect the ball. Really, they were too slow to react.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm hoping this is not a tactical decision implemented by McInnes, because I even thought, you know how much I'm a fan of Romans, I even thought he was a bit negative today, and that's not like him. I just hope this isn't what's been tactically taught to him going forward.
Yeah, no, hopefully not. And I know this is a hard one to speak about, but who was your man of the match today overall? And then if it's not a Rangers player, who's your overall Rangers player man of the match?
It might be the blue tinted glasses, but I genuinely do think it was Aasgaard. I thought he got that goal. It was a peachy goal. It was much better than the Dundee United's goal, but even beyond that, I thought his play was good. His short passing, couple of good turns. I mean, I'm not going to lie, there wasn't much in it. Like, there wasn't an abundance of quality for me in that game, but the quality I did see mostly came from Aasgaard. What about
Yeah.
yourself?
So I would say the overall man of the match, I would say, was Will Ferry, who we spoke about in the pre-match as one of the. We highlighted him in Sarsfield as a danger man. I think that turned out to be true. I thought he was integral to everything Dundee United done, whether it be his long throws, his corners, and I don't know if you remember when towards the end of the game, outside the foot pass, the boys through to keep him. For some reason, he tries to chip
I
Pandur.
don't mind
Pandur
that.
just stands tall and catches the ball. I thought he was integral to everything that Dundee United were doing right in tonight's game. But for Rangers, yeah, I've got to agree, Aasgaard, especially in the second half and especially for his goal. I'll tell you what, see if he scored that overhead kick. My God.
Wow, there wouldn't be much better doubles, I tell you that. Would have been the winner as well. I do agree though, it was close, it was neck and neck with Asgard and Ferry. Especially the fact you can tell someone's having a good game when the opposition team keeps fouling them. So I felt we just keep keeping Ferry, but Asgard's goal separated them for me, that's why he's my choice.
Yeah. And again, I'm probably being negative here because of the result. But I feel at times caught the slow tempo of the side. But I expected more from Cammy Devlin. In the friendlies, he was hitting into everything. He was freeing you up, who I thought wasn't great when he came on as well. Slack with his passing. There's a couple of things he done alright, some of his crossing and that, but I felt when he first came on, he was taking a while to get into the game, which can be hard. But I felt I wanted more for Cammy Devlin. I know he was trying to pull us up for it. He did do a few good challenges, but I said before the game this was going to be a Cammy Devlin type game. I thought he was going to totally win the battle in midfield and free the players up to go ahead, but I felt at times Dundee played right through us.
Do you know what? I completely agree. I mean, we both said that in the last pod that it's a Cammy Devlin game all over. But do you know what? See, in hindsight, looking back, I probably when I started him, knowing the way the game was, I thought most of the issues came for the wings from United. I would probably go with somebody that can dictate the tempo a bit more, probably Dan Neil. I wouldn't even have minded seeing Dragicevic. I know it's a bit early to throw him in, but that's hindsight for you, do you know what I mean? If you drop points, you'd wish you changed the lineup. But
Yeah,
looking
no,
back, I just thought it was maybe a kind of game we should have went for possession.
no, I'll be honest. I was happy with the lineup. I
Mm-hmm.
understood why he picked the certain individuals, but obviously hindsight, it never worked. So clearly, he got that. I believe McInnes got that wrong. But we're also, and I don't want to make an excuse, we're missing some key personnel. But you can't tell me that the Dundee United wingers are better than the Rangers scouted wingers, for example. I'm not having that.
No,
So
there's no way.
I think today came down to a few things. I think tactically, and I think the tempo.
Yeah, the tempo was up and down. It was so slow the first half, and then the second half, I thought the tempo started great, and then it just seemed to flutter a bit up and down.
And one more key thing, actually, last point here, Dex, is there was a stat when we'd scored the equaliser, they'd had 11 touches in our box and we'd had one. They'd had one shot, we had none. I felt like we took our foot right off the gas as soon as we scored that goal, which was surprising.
That's a crazy stat that for Rangers against Dundee United, the first game of the season. That's horrible reading. Also, I wanted to ask, what did you think he's subs tactically? Do you think they were the right subs? Would you have made any other subs?
I think it was a bit late for especially Finlay Curtis when he came on. I think it was a bit late for him to affect the game in any shape or form. I didn't really see him on the ball. I know he made a fantastic tackle over the right hand side, but ultimately led to him losing the ball. But he was hungry. He's exactly what you would expect from a young player, a young academy project. However, he never had time, and it's unfair to throw a young boy on like that to win your game of football. But
Yeah, I agree. I think I wish we'd just done it a bit earlier. I think it was the 82nd minute he came on.
yeah,
I would have personally threw him on with half an hour to go and let him go for it, try and prove himself.
yeah, give him time to get into the flow of the game. And I think that's what happened with Dan Neil. I think it took him a wee bit of time. Some of his slack passing was when he just came on. But I
Yeah.
think he did grow into it. But yeah, so I suppose it's back to the drawing board and we go again for the Europa League qualifiers now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I just hope there's a change, because that just wasn't good enough. It just deflates you as a Rangers fan, having to watch that 4 seasons in a row, failing to win an opening game.
Feels good to be back.
Happy to be back.
But yeah, I think that's us then, guys. Thanks very much for listening to the Rangers Wire podcast.